Hey guys, it's Rich here, also known as DarkMere. This is a quick video I wanted to show kind of a proof of concept of the new controls we have for the gravity generators. So this ship that you see before you is one of my Minx class patrol frigates. This is kind of a build that I was doing for a small, agile, kind of tanky, quick gunboat was the idea. And the first thing you'll notice on this ship is this double door configuration, and this is something I picked up from Last Stand Gamers, link down in the description below. And you'll see guns everywhere, and this is kind of prepping it up for multiplayer and potentially being boarded and all that fun stuff. But this is kind of the important part, is you see this gravity generator right up here. So this is pushing gravity from the top down. So we've got gravity down here. This allows me to run around on the ship. You know, nothing new. And if we go back here, I'll explain these guys in a little bit. But if you go all the way back here, you'll see these two medical bays, and you're probably thinking, like, that's kind of silly. Anyone that goes up on these medical bays, you know, when they allow spawning, is just gonna fall to the floor, potentially hurt themselves, etc., etc. Well, not quite. I can do this. Oh, I bet your stomach's churning like mine did the first time I did it. So, I'm now walking on a wall. And that's because of the controls for the new gravity generators. I can sit here and go from the bottom. I can go to this wall. I can go to the bottom. I can go to the wall. So that's the proof of concept that I wanted to show. Is a lot of people get this misconception about gravity in space, or I'm sorry, not gravity, but which direction's up, down, side, left, right, forward, back, all that. Well, in space, there is no up or down. The up and down it's wherever you want to make it. You know, forward and back is wherever you want to make it. It's subjective. And so with the new controls with the gravity generators, we can do some interesting stuff. So, you know, typically, like, for example, on Earth, gravity pulls us towards the center of the Earth, and that's where our feet sit. So it's a subjective reference. Down is where we're being forced by gravity. And so now that we can control the direction and the acceleration, the width, etc., etc., we can now kind of control where we perceive bottom as being. So technically there is no bottom to this ship, there's no top to this ship, it's wherever I put the gravity. And I'll show you how I did it real quick. So on this guy right here, you'll notice that it's very, very small. Not a very big width, it's tiny in comparison to most ships, but you'll notice the acceleration's at 1g, so one gravity, one Earth gravity. The other one that you saw in the first room, get down to it, again, very small, about the size of the ship, but the acceleration's only 0.15. So you've basically got 15% of one gravity forcing you down towards the bottom. So the more powerful gravity generator will take precedence over the smaller one, and that's what happens on this wall. So if I actually turn on my HUD, you'll notice that in the bottom right hand corner I've got gravity forcing me down this way, but it's not very strong. And then I've got gravity forcing me towards this wall, which is much stronger, so it takes precedence. And actually, if you look at I guess we can just save real quick. If we look at the character, he's kind of got this slight slant to the right, because gravity's pulling him this way, so he kind of wants to go that way. But it's more powerful this way, so he's going to stick onto this wall without falling. And this on larger ships, this will give you so much more room, because, I mean, a lot of videos that I've seen, this kind of space would just be more or less wasted. I mean, it wouldn't be used. But now that we've got control of these gravity generators, we can do a lot of neat little things, such as walk up walls. Pardon me. And so I thought you guys would enjoy that, and I'd love to see what you guys can do with it. And then I'll go over here and show you this guy real quick. So you know how they've removed the ladders, which was a nice little feature, I thought, and they replaced them with these walkways. So one of my ways around it was actually just using the walkways as ladders. So you get up inside of it, you press spacebar, and up you go. Now you're at the top of the thing, or what would used to be the ladder, and you can get into the control and what have you. And then because I have the 15% gravity, when I fall very, very slowly. I'll do that again. So I'm thinking that, when fall damage actually gets taken into consideration, if you fell down that, it would not be enough to actually harm you or do any damage. So there's that, and I just thought that was particularly interesting with the gravity generators. I mean, the way that this works, and this is actually just happenstance crossed it when I was trying to make a more or less a force field. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Last Stand Gamers, but he's made a new missile, which is on a larger ship. It is a terrifying thing, and I'll actually link to it down below again in the or not the comments, but in the description. But if you haven't seen it, look at it. If you are designing larger ships, if you're designing kind of these big war monstrosities, you're going to want to watch that video and find a way to counteract it, because those things are ridiculously effective. And so this is actually one of my answers to that, was something that's small, fast, much quicker than what he could release that missile at. I'll actually show you real quick. If we get into the command center. So again, really small. You'll notice that this thing actually weighs a lot. It weighs 2 million kilograms. And here's the cool part. For weighing that much, this thing screams. I mean, I've been holding it down for a few seconds and I'm already at 30-something meters per second. So this thing goes really fast, and it's designed around the idea of just outmaneuvering anyone else, and kind of being a more or less a patrol, exactly what its name is, patrol frigate. Do it for reconnaissance, so I can bring this in, look around, get an idea of what the enemy has or what's in an area before I bring in some of the larger ships or potentially any of the mining ships, civilian ships. But yeah, it's just, you know, main point of this video wasn't the ship, it was the gravity. So I hope you guys, you know, learn something from that, that you can take and apply it to some of your ship designs and make something really interesting, because I'd love to see what other people can do with this kind of stuff. And I'd imagine some of the players with larger ships are gonna they're gonna get the most advantage out of this, where they sit there and they're able to use the sides of their ships or the tops of their ships as walking space, and more or less be able to make use of this immense space that was originally wasted. So this is Rich, and I wish you guys fun playing Space Engineers. Adios.